Hello, everybody. Wish you all a very good afternoon. I hope today's sessions were really good. So what I would be talking is majorly on the how part. First thing, where to start. So I think we all saw a lot of information. Like most important thing is where to start now, right? We all are pragmatists. We all are execution guys. So where to start? The first thing is get yourself AI ready. What do we mean by that? You know, see, if we were talking about the data part, so the data is the fuel of AI. Now, what is more important is get your data structured. The infrastructure, the engine room, which we call, is your system API ready? Is it supporting MCP? There are a lot of technologies which AI comes through. Most important thing, models. Now, don't jump directly to the models. Try to select the models based on the use case, whether these are small language models. So this is all about getting AI ready. Now, if you don't have this in place, it's impossible to get onto the AI journey. So my experience says this will take at least few months. And even if your business today is not jumping onto the AI, but at least get these things in shape, right? Because it will be very difficult to get in just in time. What is agentic AI? Agentic AI is where you perceive the agents basically. So I see agents as a digital workforce, right? They are as good as humans. Probably, if I have to say, 24/7, and of course, make less mistakes than a human could. They perceive information from whatever sources you connect to. This is really good because it's all backed by the storage, right? So a single human could process or acquire a limited set of information, but an agent can perceive a lot of information across multiple data sources. It's very simple. Agent needs to have both the trained data as well as real-time data. Once your agent has this, now here comes the BFSI magic, right? Apply your domain logic. If you're an insurance company, you have a lot of data on insurance policies, so you need to apply the domain logic to the agent, because domain logic is what really differentiates technology from a business solution. And last, the third point, which is very important, is the action part. Like till today, AI was majorly pattern, it was spotting patterns, right? As we know, we have been using AI, but this is where agentic AI comes into picture. It acts, of course, with human guardrails. You can have human in the loop, but you can let the agent take decisions on its own, be it approving small loans, be it creating travel policies and whatnot. So you can let the agent do 70 to 80% of the work of your business work, which is low risk and probably high volume, and let the humans do the high value work, right? And most important thing now is learning. Yes, learning is incremental, but the most beautiful part here is the agents really don't repeat the problems of the past. So that is what is important. Few use cases for our industry. The industry, one of the things which has really been used is the credit underwriting. Now, this is where most of our customers are applying AI, because you have to shorten the loan application to the disbursement or the origin to a matter of really, day or even hours, right? Now, that's what is happening. The second use case is the customer servicing. Like in the morning, we were talking about how we want the agent to be very gentle to the customers. And I know most of us use ChatGPT and Gemini also for counseling, if I have to say, just joke a bit. But it's really good. You can set the context to reply in a very dignified way. Third use case is the fraud and risk surveillance. I think we spoke a lot about the zero trust architecture and the fraud. This is where you can have multiple agents do what a human is almost next to impossible for a cohort of humans to do. Like imagine you can have hundreds of agents looking at specific patterns in the fraud and escalate it real time. Regulatory compliance. Now this is also few of our customers are asking, like, as we know, there are some companies which are global, some companies which are local, domestic, but the audit reporting is a constant ask. Like, you cannot have audit reports You cannot have a big team to generate audit reports. The data should be there, and you can have a generative AI agent generate the report. Now, what does the regulator do? So again, coming to the pragmatic part, we need to use what is there in the system. And my experience, whatever I read through in last few years, I think India as a region, as a country, is doing fantastic work in this field, from the government part. So RBI has come, so again, we are a global company here, but what I've seen in this guideline, it's one of the simplest guideline I've seen from any regulator. They have something called as free AI framework. So the free stands majorly for, adaptability and, framework basically for AI. But there are a few things which I would like to call out in this slide. One is explainability. So RBI clearly says that even if an agent takes a decision, ultimately human is responsible or accountable for the decision. So in the audit, you can never say that, my agent did it. You're still responsible. So RBI says, let the explainability be in place. And that explainability is something called as chain of thought. So the agentic AI basically maintains every single decision it makes. Second, no algorithmic bias. Now, how does this bias set in? I'll just quickly say. So if in the past, any humans, whether it is your customer service or your branch, your field agents, would have made any bias, whether it is gender, whether it is race, whether it is, where do they stay and whatnot, that bias will set in the model also. So it's very important your AI should not take the wrong things done in the past. Human oversight, they have clearly said, human will be there, it has to be in the loop, right? So there is India AI stack, it's really good. I think register yourself if not done. One other thing we are already using is the data layer. AI Coach platform provides a lot of multilingual data sets, Indian context, which you will not get outside, right? And the models are also trained on that. MuleHunter.ai. So there is this fascinating thing which RBI has come up. This model can be completely on-premise. They have used their own data to train what mule accounts could be. Mule accounts, as we know, these are like shell accounts, which actually, it's more of a laundering thing. So you can also use this. This is available from RBI. So we saw why do we need AI? We also saw the things which the government is providing. Now, how do we use all this and expedite the time to market, right? Because I think one of the things we are doing is pilots. But in my experience, pilots are good if you are validating a technology, but if you are validating a business use case, I think you need to really be prepared before you have a pilot project. This is where TransformHub comes into place. So we are a BFSI focused technology company. Out of our 7 years of experience supplying solutions, we have created our own agentic AI product. This is completely made for the Bharat ecosystem to start with, right? So India is our genesis. What do we mean by that? Anything you want to connect to India AI or any Indian data sets, it's out of the box support. There are pre-built BFSI agents. So if you're doing a credit decisioning or you're doing a claims validation, there are pre-built agents which you can reuse and of course build on top of that. Then most important thing in this room, enterprise guardrails. So while we all know models and AI is really good, but if we don't have guardrails on that, whether it is the way you talk to the model or whether the model talks to the customer, so there has to be guardrails. So Agentics provides all those guardrails in one place. So like best of breed practices, we have implemented Agentics. And most important thing from a ops point of view, model risk management. Models are not perfect. They can get, they can drift. They can, actually go against what they were planned to do. So it's a very important task to do, have a good ops. Agentics provides model ops from day one. How do you start on your AI journey? I think one of the most important, again, from a pragmatic viewpoint, don't overhaul the system. Pick up one use case. It could be as simple as customer service. It could be as simple as analyzing a bank statement. Pick that up. Then, of course, use it to, build a model, the past data to build a model. integrate it with existing systems. So nowhere, I don't think so we should directly overhaul the system. Measure the model, because once the model starts acting, it's going to be very difficult. That is where you need systemic way of measuring, and that is where the ops features helps. Now, the other day I was reading a news research. One of the top agencies said that 70% of the time we are focusing on technology and 30% on picking up the right use case. So that is where, TransformHub wants to just allow the companies to focus on the business use case and let the technology be out of the box in agentics. Now this is the reason few of our customers, big ticket customers, you can see, they choose us for the deep BFSI. We do only BFSI technology. Regulatory first. Everything we do will be regulatory first. Is it time, sir? So really thank you for your time. I hope this pragmatic approach really fits in because I think now it's all about execution. It's no more about whether we need AI. It's all about how do we do it. Start small, use certain out-of-the-box products so that you don't have to build everything from day one. So this is my QR code, and feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn or email me. We are happy to give demos on Agentics. Thank you very much.